back to another episode of Ascended Masters 101. Here is where we talk all about the teachings of the Ascended Masters, and today we're going to jump into a super exciting topic, which is page 1 of the Devil's Notebook, Strategy of Darkness, number 1. This is the first of many tricks and ploys that our lower selves and the demons and devils of the dark side try to use on us to keep us from making spiritual progress. And successfully too, I might add. These are the tricks that we as souls who are searching for God have been falling for thousands of years. But now, no longer, because the Ascended Masters have given us the keys to the Devil's Notebook, to expose 33 strategies of darkness, as well as the 33 strategies of light that we can use to counteract them. We've basically been handed the rule book for how to play and win in the chess game of our battle with unreality. Now, if this is all new to you, I invite you to watch the first 2 videos in this playlist called The Strategies of Light and Darkness and Hierarchies of Light and Darkness to get a quick orientation, and then jump back in with us here to talk about Strategy of Darkness number 1. These cards are what we'll use to study these strategies, and they're based on the book Strategies of Light and Darkness. My husband and I made them before kids came along, and you can pick up your own copy at kumaracreations.com if you like. This is a little orientation booklet, and these are the cards that cover all 33 strategies. Here's Mark, and he represents you or I, the soul trying to be good and live a spiritual life and get home to God. This fellow with the orange hair is Mordred, and he represents your lower self, or the lower self of others. These two show up in all sorts of illustrations to help us remember these strategies. So, let's jump in. The very first strategy of darkness is separation from the body of God. The body of God is made up of our brothers and sisters of light in heaven and on earth. It is our higher self and our I Am Presence. It is the Ascended Masters, the angels, archangels, Elohim, and God himself reaching out to us and enveloping us with love and tender care and highest regard every single second of every single day. We are so truly and deeply loved, and we are in the center of God's heart at all times. All of heaven is reaching out to us, loving us, encouraging us, and helping us in every way possible to win our spiritual victories and make it back home to God. The Ascended Masters have told us thousands of times how much they love and care for us. I love one example in particular. This one is from Helios. He, together with his consort Vesta, represent Father, Mother God to those who are evolving on the planets orbiting the sun of the solar system. So that's us. Helios and Vesta abide in the very heart of the physical sun that you and I see each day. And it is their God consciousness that actually sustains our physical solar system. Helios and Vesta have this to tell you, quote, "We have come here that you might know, as our children, that we love you and have loved you from the beginning. We shall love you unto the ending." They also tell us, quote, "Our desire is this, to see you win. We are like parents rooting for the little league team and our sons on that team," end quote. Can you imagine all of us running around, trying to do our best in life, and unbeknownst to us, we are surrounded by these invisible bleachers, and those bleachers are filled with our godparents from the solar system that we maybe only just now found out existed, cheering us on, together with all of the other Ascended Masters and angels who love us and are rooting for us. We are literally surrounded on all sides by love and by support. And as you dive deeper into the teachings of the Ascended Masters, you will meet the acquaintance of many more of these beings of light who love you so, so much. Now, the plot of the false hierarchy is to separate us from all of that. They want to put a blindfold over our eyes as we are running in the Little League baseball field of life so that we can't see the bleachers filled with cheering fans from heaven. They want us to forget all about the bleachers and who is sitting there. they want to deprive us of the knowledge of the members of the true body of God. And this is why, because if we're connected and tuned in to all that support, and we remember our lineage and where we come from, and that God is within our hearts, and we have a higher self to guide us every day, then we almost cannot fail. So they don't want this at all. They want us disconnected from God, disconnected from our support system, and even from ourselves. Lord Maitreya is another one of those beings of immense light and love sitting in the bleachers cheering for us. His name actually means loving kindness, and he has also spoken to us about this strategy of darkness. In 1978, July 2nd, he explained that the proposition on the council tables of the false hierarchy is to determine by outer and inner programming that the outer person will no longer have contact with the inner person. Maitreya explained that the false hierarchy wants to cut off our contact with God and our own higher awareness that we have through our chakras, and that by cutting us off from God through our different chakras, we will be cut off from the land of the living, which is our support system in the bleachers, our spiritual family. The senior devil says here on the Strategy of Darkness card, warning, one of the most important realizations the light bearers, that's us, can share with one another is the reality of their connection to God and their higher self, the light within. Realizing this reconnects them with their innate divinity and with the cosmic hierarchy of light. Those, by the way, are the beings in the bleachers. Try at all costs to keep this knowledge from spreading. So that's the strategy of darkness. Strategy number 1, keep us separated from the body of God. So what is the counter strategy of light that we can apply to counteract this? Elizabeth Clare Prophet has explained that the antidote to the attempt to separate us from God is to study the lives of the saints. In the book Strategies of Light and Darkness, we read, quote, because the saints have attained, we also can attain. When we know and we love them, we can tie into their momentum of attainment. The saints ascended and unascended form the mystical body of God, end quote. Later we read, quote, it behooves us to study the lives of the saints, particularly the embodiments of the ascended masters. Learn the stories of those who have gone before us. Because they have emerged victorious from the trials on the path, we too can endure and overcome in our own soul testing, end quote. So this strategy is pretty straightforward. The false hierarchy wants to disconnect us from our support system in the bleachers, so all we have to do is reconnect by getting to know our support system and following in their footsteps along the path back to God. There are 2 books that are fantastic for this. The book Masters and Their Retreats is essentially an encyclopedia of all of the angels and ascended masters that we have been told about in the Summit Lighthouse, and it's a wonderful way to get a quick overview of many of the individuals in your support system. The book Dien is also an incredible book. It is the autobiography of Clara Louise Kinninger, who is a wonderful example of someone who not so long ago returned to the heart of God through the ritual of the Ascension, just as Jesus, Buddha, and many others have done. This is the ultimate accomplishment and goal of life for each of us. And so learning from someone who made it is a great idea. The thing I like best of all about her memoirs is that at the end of the book, you can read her dictations or messages to us from the heaven world that she composed after she ascended. These dictations were delivered through the Ascended Master's messenger, Elizabeth Clare Prophet, through the agency of the Holy Spirit. So that is quite special. In her dictations, she gives us excellent advice and tips for how to make it on the spiritual path. In addition to studying the lives of the saints, the Ascended Masters have taught us that reconnecting with God is done by nurturing your connection to God and your higher self. And this nurturing of your connection with God can be as simple as taking a deep breath and just feeling and knowing that you and God are one. God is in your heart and you are in the heart of God, and all is well. There is no separation. You feel God's love flowing into you and around you, and you know without a shadow of a doubt that God is there, present with you every moment of every day. You are plugged in and forever and intimately connected to your spiritual lineage, and nothing and nobody can take that bond of love away from you. This is a strategy of light that dispels the darkness and overcomes effortlessly any attempts to convince you otherwise. As Jesus said in John 10:30, I and my Father are one. This is a great mantra to repeat throughout the day to strengthen your oneness and your connection with God until it is so strong that nothing can ever touch you. Because being and feeling like you are one with God is truly the greatest joy. So congratulations, you have learned about strategy of darkness number 1 and about how it has absolutely no power and no ability to shake you in the face of the awesomeness and the reality of your daily oneness, your daily love relationship with God. So thank you for watching, and I wish you the very best in your personal walk with God. If you're finding value in this content, I'd like to invite you to become a sponsor of what we are doing in this channel to help make the Ascended Masters a household word. We have built an awesome custom rewards program for our sponsors that delivers inspirational perks and gifts to support you on your own walk with the Ascended Masters. To learn more, check out the link in the description below or visit kumaracreations.com and click on the sponsor tab. We truly do appreciate your support, and a huge thank you to our current sponsors. It is you who make all of this possible. So thank you for watching, and God bless.